Hey fellow Potterheads, I have to bring up something that may seem like blasphemy. There's a flaw in the Harry Potter story. Now obviously, I'm a huge fan, I'm a grown man in a Hogwarts t-shirt, but with all due respect to J.K. Rowling, there's something I think was done wrong. Ironically, it has to do with Horcruxes, which I think is one of the most brilliant aspects of the whole saga. The concept of Voldemort tearing his soul into pieces and infusing them into artifacts to keep himself immortal is genius. And the choice of items that would have significance to both Tom Riddle and the wizarding world was a fantastic idea. Although if Voldy would have chosen a can of beans as a Horcrux and thrown it in the back of my cupboard, he'd still be floating around the woods of Romania right now. And finally, the hunt for the Horcruxes provided the perfect episodic framework for the Deathly Hallows. Everything about the creation and hunt was perfect, but the crack shows itself in the final stages of their destruction. Speaking of which, did you ever notice that every Horcrux was destroyed by a different character? Let's take a look. Riddle's diary was destroyed by Harry in the Chamber of Secrets. Marvolo's ring was cracked by Dumbledore just prior to the Half-Blood Prince. Slytherin's locket, it was stabbed by Ron Weasley with the sword of Gryffindor. Hufflepuff's cup was subdued by Hermione Granger. Ravenclaw's diadem was destroyed by Fiendfire, cast by Vincent Crabbe. Nagini the Snake was dissected by Neville Longbottom. And finally, the bit of Voldemort's soul accidentally embedded within Harry was destroyed by the Dark Lord himself. One of these things is not like the other. Who from the rich cast of Hogwarts characters was chosen with the task of destroying a Horcrux? Well, there's the greatest wizard of all time, Albus Dumbledore. The three primary protagonists, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Neville, the unsung hero, the underdog, the Brian Epstein to the big three. Come on, it's a Beatles reference. Google it. And having Voldemort tricked into destroying a piece of his own soul? Brilliant. Which leaves us with the fly in the ointment. Crabbe. Now don't get me wrong, as a character in the saga, Crabbe fulfills his role as a brutish, slithering Slytherin sidekick, but he's clearly not on the level of the first-tier Wizarding World characters. It has always baffled me why Miss Rowling made this choice, especially when it had been so easy to replace him on this list with a more logical choice, one who is worthy to be alongside the pantheon of Potterfolk, and one who would have benefited from playing a role in the Dark Lord's demise. Draco Malfoy. Think about it. Draco was right there with Crabbe, so from a narrative perspective, it would have been simple to have him cast the Fiendfire spell, which accidentally destroyed the Diadem Horcrux. Or Miss Rowling could have written that scene in the Room of Requirement to have Draco be faced with the opportunity, knowing what it was and knowing what its destruction meant, and he could have taken it. Remember, this was during a time where Draco was clearly torn about his allegiance to Voldemort, and this could have been his redemption, whether by accident or by design. As brilliant of a writer as Miss Rowling is, I know she could have made that moment spectacular, just as she did with Snape's redemption. If I were you, I would be saying, who do you think you are to question the author of the most successful book series of all time, you insignificant YouTubing prat with barely 100 subscribers? And you have a point. But for the life of me, as big of a fan as I am, I've never been able to understand why Crabbe was chosen, and I can't hold my tongue. And I follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter, and I see she's an open-minded person, so on the off chance she ever sees this video, I hope she won't take offense. So what do you think? Was Crabbe the right choice to be the destroyer of the diadem? Should it have been Draco instead? Or should it have been someone else, such as Snape, or Hagrid, or McGonagall, or one of the half-dozen other Weasleys? So post a comment down below and get the convo going. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right there and check out these other videos. I highly recommend all of them because I made them, and I'd be crackers to tell you they're anything short of brilliant. Think of, I just poked myself in the eye. The bit of Voldemort's soul accidentally embedded within Harry was destroyed by the Dark Knight. Yes, Batman destroyed it.